Hey there guys, welcome back to another episode of Monster Super League. It's your boy Odin, and today we're going to be doing some Lupin dungeon attempts. And I basically just wanted to make this video to help out some of the newer players who maybe just, have started the game in the last couple of months and maybe they don't know exactly how the Lupin dungeon works. I believe the last time he was around was a little bit after Christmas, so this is kind of a perfect time for me to go over it and explain to some of the new players exactly how the Lupin dungeon works. So the rewards for this time around are going to be some soul stones. The soul stones belong to, what's her name here, Flora, and yeah, Florentia, that's right. So the dark one's actually really good for Golem's B10. So if you want to get her, really good zapper. She can be a little bit iffy sometimes the way that she, depending on what the gems that you choose to build her with, but overall good mon. And if you guys don't know what soul stones are, basically every time you beat the boss, you get these soul stones. Once you get a certain amount, you can summon that particular character. The light one here is not too bad. She can also be used in Golem's B10. She's mainly a tank because the Golem's dungeon boss is dark, so a pretty good tank. The wood one is good in PvP or in arena, but she's kind of fallen off the grid because she's so squishy. She doesn't really have the greatest attack or HP, but she is a double sleeper, 80% chance on both skills there, so nothing too crazy, but she is pretty good. So anyways, we're going to go ahead and basically go into the screen here, and as you guys will see, it's kind of like the Titan setup. In which basically Lupin is like a mock version of the Titans battles. It's going to be a little bit less difficult, but it as you beat Lupin after a certain amount of tries, he does get hard. So it just depends on what level you start with, and I'm basically just going to cover some of the teams that I use and how I think that you guys should build up your teams to beat the Lupin dungeon. As you guys go through the story, pretty much you can just hit next. I'll probably just skip it, but basically just saying beat the elusive thief Lupin, and he'll give you stuff. Basically what it is he went around and stole the souls of those particular mon, and your job is to basically kill him and free the trapped souls. So anyways, so for leads, it's going to be essentially the same thing as Titans. He's a dark Titan, essentially. So you want to pick some light monsters that can do some damage. Personally, I'm not really too concerned with the type of monsters that you guys use, but I will say that Hunters, Courageous Strikers, and Predators do a little bit more damage. As you guys can see by my lineup, I'm basically using a whole bunch of Courageous Strikers. I have the Beiji, which does, I don't know if I can click on her in this grid here, no. Alright, so the Beiji is a Courageous Striker and a Blinder, so she has Courageous Strike on the 3-star skill, and she has a Variant Leader skill. As you guys know, the patch just came out today, in which they announced the changes upcoming at the end of the month, which means that all the leader skills will now be applicable in any event, so it means they're not restricted anymore. Prior to this, some of the leader skills were restricted to arena, some were restricted to the dungeons or clan battles. That is no longer the case after they update this at the end of the month. All leader skills will be available in all dungeons and in all content, which is definitely a huge plus, because I hated having to choose one particular mon over another for a specific dungeon, and sometimes the leader skill was not optimal for that dungeon. Alright, so without deviating too much here, going back in, so we have a Blinder, we have defense down in the Frosk. Don't sleep on him, he's actually a very, very good mon. Then you have the Neza, which has Blind and Weaken. She is a light mon though, so she's going to be very difficult for you guys to get, unless you're super pro and you're buying the light and dark card. And then I'm using Hana, because Hana has attack down and defense up on her skill, her 5-star skill. And as you guys know, defense up is essential when it comes to Titans. If you don't have defense up, you're going to get hit a lot harder than you normally would. So for my next team here, I have the Fire Verdi. She came around, and she's a rebirth monster, so she'll probably come back here in the next couple of months. I would say within 2 or 3 months she'll be back, because it's been about almost 8 months since the last time she was around, or 6 months. but her leader skill is attack, so I'm throwing that in here on the second group because my monsters here are courageous strikers and they all have a 100% chance to crit. The Balrona is essentially courageous strike and defense down, and the Shinobi is courageous strike and attack down. So as you guys can see, I basically made sure that I have plenty debuffs to go around, as well as courageous strike to do the damage. I technically recommend you guys to put every mon that you have on, depending on the particular role that they play, as like Ruin. For example, courageous strikers, you want to put them on Ruin. Obviously, things are not always optimal. Trying to find a critical hit gem in Ruin is really tough. But if you can't do Ruin, do at least Intuition. That way you make sure that you have a 100% chance to crit. And if you have Intuition, try to find gems that have crit damage on them because they'll offset the lack of the Ruin set. Basically, Ruin just gives you a 40% extra crit damage to all damage done. So if you get yourself an Intuition set and just add a little bit of crit damage, that should be fine. Just don't go for the crit damage gems, like ones that say like 63 or 70% chance or 70% crit damage. You don't necessarily want to do that with your mons because they'll get hit pretty hard. So just go with HP attack crit rate on most of your courageous strikers. Put them on Ruin sets if you can. If you can't, do Intuition, but just find some gems that have crit damage on them. So that's basically my front row. My back row here, I have Weekend with the variant Water Draka. Her rebirth's coming up at the end of the month. Don't miss out on her. The Fire Draka is amazing. I always recommend new players to sacrifice your Nat 5s for them. At least try to get one Fire one to Evo 2. Sacrificing 3 mons to hopefully get a Fire Draka that will help you out with basically everything in the game. It's totally worth it. You need to get at least one Fire Draka. If you're like me, I just decided to go crazy and I built 3. But for at least new players, I recommend you guys to go for at least one Fire Draka. She'll help you out tremendously everywhere. And the second slot here, I have the Neza. Third slot, again, with the double defense down from the Frosk. Really good Titan defense downer. And then the Hana, same thing, attack down and defense up. And then for my last group here on the second team, I'm using a crit damage lead because both my Xiaowujing and the Shinobi here have a 100% chance to crit again. So crit damage, the Xiaowujing is on a Ruin set, so he's going to be doing some pretty insane damage if we even get to him, or at least to the second row. Usually my front row kills Lupin easily, but we'll see. I think I'm at level like 10 or something now. But anyways, courageous striker and attack down, courageous striker and attack down, courageous striker and weaken, and then attack down and defense up. So that's basically it, guys. You kind of want to have at least a whole bunch of debuffs going around, just like the Titans teams. But he is dark, so it's not going to be too reliant on specific monsters. And of course, light monster is going to do a lot more damage to him. But I know a lot of you guys don't have the light Siegfried. But if you do, grats to you. Keep going for it. It should make this dungeon super easy. So we're alright. We're just going to go ahead and hit the battle here. And it's basically auto mode from now on. Once you have your team all set up, it's just like Titans. You let them go until they can basically die, or if they survive, kill the boss. My monsters here shouldn't have too much problems or too many issues, but I guess we'll have to see. And as usual, Nox is always really slow. Alright, so here is the Lupin Scenario, or cinematic, if you want to call it that. So for all you new players, if you guys need help, building up your Lupin teams or anything like that, just hit me up with a message on YouTube or a message on Discord. I'll put the link for Discord on the bottom section there in the comments. And consider leaving a like or subscribing to my channel if you're looking for some help, or if you just want to, reach out and maybe request a specific video that you're looking for. I do have a gold guide that I'm going to be making here, and that will be coming out at the end of the month. I wanted to give it a little bit of time as far as looking at what I could do to improve the gold and Astro Gem inflow for you guys before I even put that video up on that. But I think after a month of trials on the new updates, I think I have a good idea of the places that you guys can go to get a good amount of gems and things like that. So as you guys can see, basically front row here is just doing the debuffs. We got attack down and blind, and then defense down. So the only thing we're missing here is the weaken, which if the Neza gets the active skill off here, it should be a weaken, and she did not. Neza is a really good mon. If you fully book her, mine I think is missing 2 books, but if you fully book her, she has blind for 3 turns with a 90% chance, and then she has weekend for 3 turns with a 90% chance. So she's a really good mon. But as you guys can see here, as long as you have defense down, again, Defrost, don't sleep on him. I built 4. I'm trying to get at least 7 of him. I'm working on my 6th one now, my 5th one now. Well, I just finished my 5th one, but I haven't jumped him yet. But I'm working on the 6th one now, just leveling him while I'm farming the Pinolos. But anyways, going on here, let's see. I'm still surviving. I guess I'm at level 13, so it should be getting a little bit harder now. Unless you guys have your mons completely like maxed out and fully booked and you know everything, this dungeon will still be difficult for you. But for most players, if you've been playing for a long time like me, this Lupin dungeon is not really too crazy difficult. But as you guys can see here, my right row here is already about to die. I probably should have, you know, changed. The reason why here is, if you guys notice, the HP leader skill goes a long way. And so I'm really excited that they're going to be, you know, changing a little bit of, you know, the leader skills. So that way we could use some more HP leader skills, and then I can put my monsters on attack, crit rate. So the Balrona and the Shinobi here on attack, crit rate, which leaves you really exposed to damage from the boss, specifically because you don't have that high health pool that you would, just like you guys saw there on the left. So for this type of dungeon, if you have an HP leader skill, it will help you out tremendously, especially if your monsters are on attack, crit rate, just like mine. So, but as you guys can see, didn't even get to my back row, and my back row is the one that's going to do the most damage. So let's see for the rewards here. As you guys can see, you get some soul stones. We got some wood soul stones, some dark soul stones, and some light soul stones. And I think 50 is what you need for the light and dark, and you need 30, I believe, for the wood. You guys can correct me if I'm wrong on that one. Let's see for the gems here. I usually just sell this because there's never anything useful. Alright, so that was level 13 Lupin. And we'll also do the next 2 since we're here. But same thing, I'm going to try and see if I switch my leader skill here. So let's put the Shinobi, and then let's put the Verdi, and then let's see if I put down the Hana. Actually, oh yeah, I'm going to use the Hana. Let's see, where are you at? Sorry guys, I like went right past it like an idiot. But as you guys know, I'm not all pro, so you know, I like you guys, I make mistakes too. Let's see, where are my other Hanas here? I know I have one more. Oh, all 3 variants are in, that's why. See? What did I just say? Everybody makes mistakes, including myself. I believe this one is fully booked. Nope, not her. I think it's this one. Yes, her. Okay, let's see, we'll give it a try. We're now using an HP leader skill. It says in clan battles though. See, this is the issue right now. If you try to use a leader skill that doesn't belong with that particular restriction, it's not applicable. So for right now, my HP leader skill on the second row is not working. So let me see if maybe I choose somebody else. I just want to test out so I could show you guys, you know, the difference that the leader skill makes there. So if I were to switch that for, like, you know, an HP leader skill. So let's see if maybe I drop the Verdi, and I will throw in, let's see, I was kind of hoping I'd use a decent HP leader skill. Do crit damage, Draka instead of the Verdi. I guess we could do that. Let's see if we give this a try. Let's put in this Fire Shinobi back in there. Okay, let's give that a try. As you guys can see there, it's not grayed out, so that's valid for this type of dungeon now. On the back row, Yeah, I'll leave those two there. I was thinking about switching her for the Dark Aphrodite for some more attack down and attack up, but I think I'm going to leave it at that just to showcase that. So this should be Lupin level 14. And of course, I have Evo 3 Mon. Some of you guys may only be able to get to, level 10, for example. So don't beat yourself up if you can't get past level 5. But this type of setup will help you do a little bit more damage. As you get better on in the games, you can find better monsters. It'll be a lot easier for you to, use and hopefully make your life easier. But as long as you guys, again, follow that debuff setup there, you should be able to get some decent damage done and survivability. So again, you want to do all your debuffs. Got defense down is the most important because that's going to allow you to do damage. Blind is really good, and then defense down. So it looks like my Hana on the right hand side, I chose the wrong one. She's not fully booked yet. I'm still working. I think that's like my 5th Hana that I'm building now. Like I said, I'm trying to get to like 10, but it's a little bit obsessive, I know. But I do manage to pull a decent amount of Hanas every fast, and I always keep them. I don't rebirth them, or feed them to the gods. But so far, I'd say that my second row back here is doing a little bit better now. So they're on attack crit rate, but they're on a 45% HP leader skill from Draka. And overall, I'd say that they're surviving a lot better. So if you guys can see, if you're going to do attack crit rate in Titans, you're going to need an HP leader skill. If you go for an attack leader skill, you need HP attack crit rate. I know it's difficult to find HP gems with like good attack substats and resistance substats, as well as critical substats. You can't always get the best of all three, but every now and then, you'll get really lucky and find a decent gem from golems. I think I've only found like a few in the last couple of months, so don't beat yourself up if you haven't. Well, it looks like my back row died there pretty quick. Oh, that's right, no attack down. See, so if you guys can see there, the debuffs, they make the difference, and you need to have the debuffs at all times in order to survive. I know there's guys out there, though, that are probably like at level 25 before they even start seeing some damage, or where they're starting to, at least take some damage from Lupin. But I'm just not there yet. But hopefully, in a couple of months, or after a couple of years of playing, if I haven't given up by then, because I have no water bast. If I had a water bast here, that'd be awesome, but, 433, just not very good luck for me the last couple of months. Well, I mean, I can't say that. I mean, I did start off the year with, like, 2 water ballonas, so that was already a plus and a bonus, and I was a godsend, because I definitely needed them so bad. My water team was absolutely atrocious without the ballonas, But I don't know. Let me know, guys. What do you guys think? Do you like the Lupin dungeon? I particularly like it. It's a great way to get new soulstones, specifically for dark and light monsters that maybe some people didn't get in the past couple of weeks or couple of months. Definitely a good dungeon. I think it's much better than the Heroes dungeon. Although I did see that they are going to add the soulstones for the new monster in the Hero dungeon, which I think is actually a good move for for MSL in 433, because then it would allow people to, or if it would encourage more people to go into that dungeon, specifically the new players or old players like myself. I look at a new monster, I'm like, okay, I could do that. I could do the dungeon. If, after a month of farming, I get 60 stones, then that means that the next time he's around, I can at least get 1 copy of him. So for some new players, it may be difficult to do the Heroes dungeon. But for old-timers, it's definitely a good move, and I'm sure I'll see a lot of people going for them. But as you guys can see, my back row here is a little bit stronger, so they'll basically be able to take care of this, no problem. Let's see here. As you guys can see, Woojin and the Shinobi really do some insane amount of damage. I'm going to say that it was probably Shinobi doing the most amount of damage there, but that crit damage leader skill is super nice. So there he is, going down for the last time. And I'll cut the video here, guys, just so that, some of you guys can take your time browsing through it, and I don't want to take too much of your time, but if you guys need help, just hit me up on Discord. I'll put a link for it in the comment section down below. Leave a like or subscribe to my channel if you're new, and of course, if you have any suggestions for videos you'd like to see or content you'd like me to make, just let me know ahead of time, and I'll see what I can do for you guys. But anyways, that's it for the Lupin dungeon, guys. I hope you guys are able to beat it and complete as much of it as you can. Get your soul stones, get your dark and light floras, and your wood one if you really want the wood one. But that's it from me, guys. I will catch you all on the next video. Peace.